What's up? Welcome to today's stream. Today is Saturday, and yeah, no agenda. I actually didn't even want to stream today. I kind of wanted to sit around and do nothing, but that's why I'm here, is to, just go ahead and do stuff. It doesn't really matter what I want. So, given that I don't really have an agenda, I'm just going to do some random work. If folks come around, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, just be playing around on my computer. So because of that, it's unlikely I'm gonna get questions. It's very rare. So I'm gonna go ahead and jam out to the music. So yeah, enjoy, I suppose. So yesterday I was doing a little bit of work. Actually, I was doing all kinds of things. I got pulled into several different directions, and I don't know, that it's kind of difficult to try to get stuff done when people are pulling you in all these other different kinds of directions, and you can't really concentrate. So for those of you who don't know, I am a former engineer, and I have this thing that I think is called deep work, and most of the work that I need to do is stuff that having distractions makes it harder. So I think I was working on this right here to send a push notification. I'm not even sure if I tested this. Like, that's how little I know about what's going on right now. All right, so let me test. Is that the name? All right. So yeah, let's see what this is doing right now. So I have this CLI program that I was working on. This is it right here, and all it's supposed to do is send a push notification at the moment. Eventually, I'm going to have every function that we export on our SDK, our backend SDK. Let me find that. Too many things open up right now. What the fuck? All right, so here. What the fuck? Okay, so this is all of the things that we are technically supposed to be able to do, I think, from the SDK. I think I may be lying. Let's see if I'm lying. So we'll come over to here, and let's go to the node. That's not node. All right, yeah, so we'll go into here, and there should be a list of functions that this exports. We don't really make it very easy to know what you can do. We need to change that. But at a minimum, here's some of the things that I can add to the CLI that I'm developing. So creating a new user, for instance, or getting a particular user by their OneSignal ID. Let me go ahead and pull up the app. Yeah, before I do all that, let me close some things. We'll put this on How Do I Watch Later. Okay. There was once upon a time that in YouTube you can add something to a playlist. Oh, is it saved now? They've added it behind the button. Okay, that's weird. So we'll put that in Watch Later. Okay, this is feedback. Get rid of that. Documentation. Yeah, we're not doing docs today. Don't care right now. Also don't care. There's a lot of, okay, I think I care about this. So those are the docs that I'm going to be referencing. For this first, I did write these, but this is an easier way for me to figure out what all functionality I need to implement in this CLI program. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll kind of switch gears and work on this iOS application or this watchOS application, or maybe I'll get into playing with the Vision OS API stuff. We'll see. But I don't really have I don't have an agenda today. Yeah, we'll close all that. For what it's worth, this is some of the stuff that I can get into. So, maybe watch some of these videos, learn a little bit more about, what I can do, that kind of thing. My levels at? They were here somewhere. Where did the levels go? These are not my levels. This is not the correct application. It kind of sucks having multiple applications called the same thing, and macOS is kind of stupid, to be honest. All right, cool. So got levels up, and we can close this console. What is this? Don't care right now. Also don't care about that right now. FMDB, what is this? FMDB. Pretty sure I don't care anymore right now. There's a lot of this I don't care about right now, so we'll just close most of it. Close that too. All right. We'll close out this desktop for now. Okay, so let me move this to another screen, and there's also some crap here that I can close down. Okay. Keep that. Close. Oh, I should have closed that. Oh well. Close. I'll keep that. Close that too. Close that. All right, and let's open up my application. Actually, I have some stuff over here that I can probably close. iOS sample. We don't need that. Okay, all right. I think this is it. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. This is the this app that I want. So let me just move that to this thing here. Oops. Let's get some more screen brightness. All right. I think things are good. Okay, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I have this little thing here. I shouldn't need this, but I'm going to keep it up just in case I need to test. I'm going to just move this to another screen over here. And let's move this to another screen. Okay. And I'm also going to close Spotify so it doesn't, to get rid of all the weirdness. Okay, I think I'm finally ready. Let's see what this. All right, so this is my new sample. So we'll keep this up and open, but I'm gonna put this on another screen for now. All right. Oh, and I have a simulator running. I suppose I don't want that. I'm not going to be able to get push notifications there. So I'm going to go ahead and close Xcode and yeah, and Chrome. I don't want Chrome open. All right, I think I'm good. So let's pull up this little thingamajig, and I kind of want this to be down here. We'll put that up there. Cool. All right. I think this is a, actually, I want this to be the opposite. I will do that. So I got my screen somewhat organized, maybe. I got Stream Manager up. It looks like I'm streaming on Twitch, so we're live. All right, all the setup is done. Cool. So this particular app, I got to make sure that this works. So let's go ahead and open up QuickTime. I got to plug in my phone for this. All right, look at that. Oh shit, what did I just do? Damn it. Get a little bit smaller, and anything else that I need to do? I think we're good. I think I have everything I need. So I have the application. Let's see if I get the thing. Close that, close all of this. All right, so if this works, I will get a notification on this device. So let's see if that happens. So we're gonna rerun this. This is a push notification. Okay. This is a push notification. Perfect. That is working. Now, to make sure that this is for real working, I'm going to do this. So we'll say, can I do this? All right, look at that. Oh, wait, you don't see it. Let me pull it up. See, can I do this? So that's working. Perfect. One CLI command done. I'm not gonna refine this right now. What I want to do is get all of these things in place, and then I can kind of go back and get these things refined over time. But for now, I'm going to move on. So we're going, I can't even speak right now today. Let me delete all of these. Oh. Okay. So in order to create a new command, you have to use, or I have to use, the Oclif thing, I guess. Let me pull up my shell history. I actually don't know what that was that I ran to do it. So we're going to do command or Oclif. Here we are. So this is the command that I want to run right here. So we'll just copy that. That's not what I expected to happen. So can I double click it? Nope. Fine, whatever. I'll just retype it like a plebe. So we're gonna do Oclif, generate command. And what do I want to do? This is app management, and we're gonna do create app. So we're gonna do create app, like that. Okay, all right, cool. So I should now have a new command called create app, and I do. So we'll go ahead and close that down. And a lot of this is going to be the same. Oh, okay. Shit. I'm not going to put my computer in stream mode, because if I do that, all of my devices are going to go to stream mode, and then I won't be able to see these notifications as I do things. So, yeah. Where are we at? So, one thing that I'm noticing is that I'm going to have to do a lot of this repeating, building out this client right here. This right here. I don't want to do that. This is dumb to me. So what I'm going to do is move this out into another place, maybe inside of this config. Yeah, we'll put it here. No, we won't put it here. Screw that. So we're going to just create a new file. So we're going to put this in source, and this is going to be called one signal client, I suppose. Put this here, and the only thing that we really need to export is this right here. And we want to import all of these things. Yep. Yeah, import that too. But yeah, just import it all. Auth key, one signal auth key. And we also want to import one signal, maybe. All right, cool. So we have one signal, and we're going to export this one signal client, like so. Now, what I'm going to do is delete this right here. So we'll go to the end of that. Cool. So this is tripping. So we'll just add that as an import, and we'll organize our imports. Cool. So now this should look a little bit better. well, I'm not really going for looks, but it should be a little bit easier to use now. I should be able to just get my client and do something. So let's move on to, wait, where was it? Did I close it? Okay, it looks like I may have closed the window or the tab that I needed. So let's go to that. This is going to be GitHub, one signal, and something to do with Node, probably. Yeah, this one. Make it a little bit bigger. We're going to do app. All right, create app maybe. Yeah, so it's okay. So it's under one signal.app. Okay, cool. So we'll come back into here and we're going to go into my create. A lot of this is going to go away. So flags, yeah, don't need it right now. Not even using flags. Yeah, I'm not using it right now. Actually, yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. This is gonna be the name, I suppose. So this is gonna be the name of the app. Okay, this is now going to be name, so we'll just do that and do name, like so. Oh, I just realized that I'm not sharing my key binds that I'm using. Oh, there we are. Just make sure that they're popping up. All right, cool. So you should be able to see my key binds in the lower left-hand side. So if you're wondering, like, how am I doing X, Y, or Z? Just consult that. Okay. What do I want to do? Examples. Yeah, I'll leave that alone. So this is going to create a new app. And in fact, I think I may just copy this. Creates a new one signal app. Create a new one signal app. We'll get rid of the S here and just say create a new one signal app. Examples. Yeah, I'll just leave that alone for now. All right, so name is technically not going to come from flags. So name is going to come from args.name. So we'll hopefully we'll say if there are no, I'm not going to worry about checking. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. So for now, we're just going to get this from args. I don't care about flags right now, so we'll just delete that. All right, don't need any of this. And for now, the log is going to be, let's just have it log out the name of the app. Or is there a way that I can like return a failure? I want to throw an error. It's not very obvious how to do anything. The docs feel a little bit incomplete, to be honest. All right, so for now, I'm just gonna throw an error. So if you don't give me a name, we're just gonna throw an error. So this can be undefined. So we'll just say if name, not name, then we'll just throw error. And we'll say you must provide a name for your app, something like that. And let's see how that works. So we'll just say here, this is, yeah, we'll just leave that alone for now. So let's run this. Why is my switcher coming up on the wrong screen? All right, so we're gonna do not push, we're gonna do create app, and I'm not gonna give it any argument, and it should fail, hopefully. Create app. Yep, cool. You must provide a name for your app. Perfect, we're good. All right. Actually, instead of throwing an error, I don't need to do that because I technically don't really give a shit about the stack trace right now, so we'll just do this. So let's confirm that this is working the way that I expect. Yep. Oh, nope, it's not. So I also want to return, and yeah, I'm gonna just return like this. Cool. Now, it's working the way that I expect. And sometimes, in fact, if anybody's watching and you have opinions about this, what do you prefer? Do you prefer doing return on a single line? So let's say, for instance, you're going to return void. Do you just return like this? Or do you return on the last line that returns void? So this.log is a function that returns void. So technically, I could just return this.log, and I have one less line of code. Or I can, you know, put it all on one line and line like so. And I can even do this right here, just really make it in line. That way, you know, like which one is better? This is opinionated, so I'm really asking what's your opinion, right? So which one do you typically do in your own code base? All right, so I now have my kind of scaffolding, I guess, or whatever. So we'll come up down into here and we'll do const app is equal to a new, I can't type today, new one signal. Is it? Oh wait, I gotta import one signal. Import one signal client, I think is what I called it. One, I don't know what I called it. So we'll just go to the file that I know where it's at. It's going to be one signal client. Not sure why that's double. And then we'll pull one signal client out. And we also got to import one signal, unfortunately. So we'll import this as one signal from one signal something. I forgot the name of the thing. Yeah, that. All right, cool. So we're going to do one signal dot app like so. I've already, well, I need to write up feedback. I don't like this. This is not where it's at for me. All right, so we're going to have app additional. Okay. Name. Where's name? Yep, here we are. I don't know why this is optional. It shouldn't be optional, but I'm gonna just do that there. All right. Any other thing? In fact, what I can do is just come into the type definition here. So everything is optional. That's bullshit. Everything is in fact not optional. I'm not even sure why this is a class. This is weird. Classes are weird. Like, shouldn't this be a struct or what do you call that? Interface? Okay. All right. So fine. We're going to just go with this. We'll see if that's even going to work. Oops. Save that. Okay. Now I need to actually do the thing. So I'm going to use my one signal client to do the thing. So we're going to say create app. And this takes in an app, which is the thing that I've just created. And options, which are of type whatever that is. So let's see if it's going to give me some help. Nope. These options, I don't like this at all. If I have spent time configuring the client, there's no reason why I should be able to change it here. But maybe, I don't know, I'll leave that alone for now. It's just going to return a promise. Yes, it's going to return a promise of something. So we'll do results equals await that. Like so. And instead of doing this, we're just going to log out results. So we'll say result. Like so. And why it's just tripping, is it because of that S? I don't know why that's there. And if I can spell for once, maybe things will be okay. All right, so let's organize these imports, move this back. All right, so now I have a new thing, and we're gonna do create app, and I'm gonna call this test or CLI test app. How about that? CLI test app. And to confirm this is working, I'm gonna come to my dashboard here, and if it works, then I should see something. All right, I get back a result, and let's see if I get back test CLI app. Yep, here we are. Cool. So I'm going to delete this. That's working. CLI test app. All right, enter should work here. Command enter. Okay. So this is turning into feedback now. So let's open up a recording right quick. So we want to record. God damn it. I want to record this window, but because I'm on a very high resolution screen, I need to make this a little bit smaller so that the GIF isn't like stupidly large. So we'll do that. All right, so we'll come into here. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Fuck. All right, we got to restart. Come into here, and then I want to delete, remove, whatever that is. I'm going to do CLI test app. I should be able to press enter or command enter. That is my feedback. So let's go ahead and generate a new document to write up some feedback. All right, so we'll say cannot, or what's the word? Pressing enter does not submit the form. So when trying to delete, oh shit. Fuck, I thought I ended this. Now I gotta redo it. Or can I edit it? Maybe I could just edit it. Let's see. Fuck. Oh, wait. Fuck, oh shit. Now I gotta redo all that. God damn it. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So when trying to delete an app, or I'll just when deleting an app. When an app, I'm presented with a dialog requesting that I re-enter or just enter the full name of the application I'm trying to delete. My issue is that I'm forced to use the keyboard or the mouse to complete this action, but I'm being asked that should be a while being asked to use my keyboard. General pressing enter, and I guess this should be KBD or K whatever this is. So KBD slash KBD. This is one of the things that I'm not a fan of when like I'm using these other tools that don't allow me to like use Markdown in the way that I would expect. But when I render this on GitHub, that should be fine. So in general, pressing KBD or not KBD, enter, or CMD plus enter will submit the form, or I guess make the action happen. What do you call that thing? We'll submit the form, or confirm the, I don't know, confirm the action. just suggestion. Allow me to confirm deletion using my keyboard. That should be good enough. And then I get to redo all of this because of reasons. So we'll close all that. Close all that out of the way. We'll recreate this app. Wait, you must, oh, okay, let's do that. Cool, so now we get the app. Now I can come back in and like actually delete it again. What the don't show me the skin, I don't give a fuck. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we'll say CLI tests app don't work. So I had to do it that way and then we can end. Also, why do I have to wait? That's not great. I shouldn't have to wait. That's okay. So that's going to be another piece of feedback. Let's pull up my thing and we'll just drag it up to here. Oops, wrong one. The one before. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead and create a new issue for that. I created a new repo for this product. Kind of should have maybe put it in our official org. I may transfer it actually, just not now. So we're gonna do a new issue and we'll say pressing. We'll just say enter doesn't submit form or confirm action. All right, and we'll just take that text and drop it there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just missing some commas. Fine, I'll accept that. And then for my suggestion, let's see if it's going to format this properly. Oh, it does. Oh, cool. That's dope. Except I use asterisk instead of whatever that is. All right. And next we can just drag this into here. So I have two of these for a reason. It's because not everybody within our org has GitHub. And here's what I was trying to get at earlier. So on GitHub, notice how this will format this properly as as a keyboard shortcut looking thing, whereas in Craft it doesn't. Very annoying. All right, so now I've done this, I'm going to redo the same exact shit, but this time I'm going to export this as Markdown. Copy all that out. And then we can go into Coda. Product development. Come to my product feedback. Page, and we'll just paste most of that. That'll come up to here. Actually, that won't come up to here. I'm going to copy this. All right, so we'll just say rendered Markdown is available on GitHub and here using password one signal. Yeah, I'm gonna put up another all right, so let's first take this issue. Oops. Paste that here. So GitHub. All right, and then using here. All right, so now I get to create a new document here. I'm gonna throw a password on here. All right, so cool. So now I can throw a password here. Okay, fine. I'm gonna move this to another screen right quick. That's good. Perfect. So now done. I'm also going to go ahead and submit this as feedback today. Products, requests, and we got a workflow. I don't know if I should show this, so I'm not going to show it. This is going to be a design fix. What's the problem? How would this be solved? Wait, what? What's the problem space? I don't know. Deleting. App deletion. All right, product is our dashboard. Client is me. There we are. Urgency, I don't know. All right, what is the problem? Okay. I'm forced to use my mouse and I should be able to use my keyboard. All right, cool. That's done. All right. Now I can move back to what I was working on. All right, so let's do some committing, I suppose. We'll move this to here. All right, so we have push. Okay, so add. This is technically implementing. So we're gonna implement push. Oh, wow, there's test too. Create app.test.ts. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this thing has tests. Can I just do tests? Oh, look at that. Okay. No, I don't want to read now. I really don't want to run these. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, I can do some tests. Anyway, so let's implement push notification. And we're also going to implement create an app creation. Okay, look at that. Okay, so I'm not going to spend much time trying to like do more around that. I'm just going to move on. So now we have get an app. Excuse me. So we're going to run that command that I did earlier, which is here, and we're going to call this get app. Cool. And just kind of going to rinse and repeat now. I have a general pattern where, you know, you do the things and then you do more things and then things happen. All right, we'll save that. And we want to open up get app. All right, same kind of things maybe. What does this take? This takes an app ID. Okay, so we're going to, I wonder if that should be an argument or if that should be a flag. I'm gonna make that a flag. We'll say ID. And maybe I should be making all of these flags. No, screw it. We're just gonna delete this. No flags. So this is gonna be args. It's not going to be called name. This is going to be the app ID. I think I should be able to just do this. All right, and then we're going to move that down for now. I don't need any of this, so I'll just get rid of it. No, we're not going to have any defaults here. So we're going to have to check. We're going to say if there's no app ID, then I want to return log. You must provide an app ID. What the why can't I make things capital? All right, so you must provide, and I should probably spell things correctly, so we'll say you must provide an app ID to retrieve. For the app. You want to retrieve. All right, I think that's okay. And then from here, we can create, no, we could just do our client thing. So we'll just say const results, and we'll await one signal client dot get app, something like that. And I'll just pass in this app ID. Oops. Like that. And instead of logging whatever that is, we're just going to log our app. You know what? I'm going to create a helper function. Call this util ts, and we're going to export. Can I do this .log here? Maybe not. Nah, never mind. I'm not going to do that. And here's why I'm not, because, oh shit. Let me delete that. So this is coming from the class itself. So I won't be able to, I won't have access to that. So the only thing that I technically could do is create a function called pretty and then pass in value. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that. I just lied. I'm going to do that. TS. We're going to call this pretty print. So we're going to export. This is going to be a function called pretty print. Yeah, actually, I'm going to call it pprint. I'm going to just call it print. Screw it. We're going to say print. And then this is going to take in some data. I don't know, shit, like an object or something. And it could be any. I don't really care what it is. Yeah, it could be anything. I don't really care what it is. And then this is going to return this right here. We'll stringify. We'll pass in our data null to 2. All right, cool. And oop. So instead of doing this right here, we're just going to say print. Yeah, I'm not going to call it print. And the reason why is because there are other things called that, and it's going to be confusing. So we're going to call this format FMT. How about that? I'm unlikely to come into any naming conflicts with FMT. Yep, look at that. That's the only one. Perfect. So we're going to put the result in there. All right, cool. So now what I want to do is copy this, and we're going to look for everywhere else where I've done JSON.stringify. What the fuck? JSON.stringify. Okay, so here we're going to, instead of doing that, we're just going to do FMT result. And maybe I'll import that. And I also want to do that right here. Cool. So we got create app. Cool, we're done. Get app. All right, this is the latest one. Let's just see if this works. Where's my app? Okay. So we're going to get app A, whatever this is, which is this app ID. All right, so let's see how this works. We're going to do get app. right, cool. It gets the app. Good. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a refactor here. So we are going to extract out a test function or a format function, pretty print function, whatever we're going to call it. So extract out FMT function or pretty print function. And we're going to add a new command. So we're going to implement get app retrieval. How about that? Man, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't type. All right, cool. Now we're done with that. So let's move forward. We can close that, and that. Let's come up here, and we're going to run a new command. And what's the next command that we want to do? Get app, get several apps. Okay, so we'll say get apps, plural. All right. Now, where is that at? Get apps. Here we are. So what I'm going to do is just straight up. Right, these tests are not helpful for me. They're confusing now. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. I'm like, okay, I see. I understand. Okay. So this is what I want. So I'm going to just straight up come here and no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to copy most of this. All of it, actually. Oh, wait, I think I copied the wrong thing. We're going to copy all of this. And we're going to go into get apps. Man, my computer's starting to like do some stickiness. I don't know what it is. All right, we'll import this. Maybe I should do all imports. All right, get app. All right, that's the thing that don't exist. So we'll say get apps, plural. And this is going to, wait. A minute. Oh, okay. All right. Retrieve an app. Retrieves an app given an app ID. All right. I forgot to do this. So the identifier application ID. Oh, no. Sure. Cool. I think that's, yeah, we're good here. So now I can come back to here, and this is going to be literally the same thing. Retrieves a list of apps. Retrieves a list of apps given or provided. Given a list of app IDs, plural. Okay, app IDs is now going to be this, and it's not going to be a string. Can I like do something else? I can do Boolean, I can do directory, I can do file, integer, string. Okay, so then we're going to say a comma separated list. A comma separated lists of app IDs. We're going to keep up with the same thing here. So we're going to say comma separated list of app IDs. I wonder if I can do an example. Is there something else that I can do here? Can I give an example? You can do, what is that? You spend so much of your life scheming and trying to get over. Got you wondering why you come around. All you get is cold show. Okay. Yeah. All right, so maybe the example, that's probably, yeah, I'll probably do that here. Okay, so we're just going to leave this as such for now. We're now going to get app IDs, and then that's going to be equal to whatever that is. And then we're going to say if there is no app IDs, you must provide a list, a comma separated list of app IDs for the apps you want to retrieve. Okay, cool. So once we get this list of IDs, I now need to like pull it out. So we'll do const. Oh my god, why can't I type? Const IDs, and this is going to be app IDs. App IDs, and we're going to call split on comma like that, and that should give me back IDs as an array, hopefully, maybe. Yep, cool. So yeah, once I add these IDs, we're going to say get apps, and this should take in a whoa, what? Is this a bug? Oh wait, oh, okay, all right. So most of this could be a lie, actually. Yeah, I think all of this is a lie. I don't need any arguments. This is just going to be for my, yeah, I don't need anything, so I can delete all this. Don't need args, hopefully. Don't need to parse. We're just going to call get apps, and this is going to be our result, and I'm just going to pass in our result. Has no properties in common with app. What is it? What the hell is this talking about? Wait, did this get changed? Oh, what the hell? Okay, it created a function. It didn't import it. That's weird. There we are. All right, that works. So we'll just do that. Now let's see if this works. We're gonna do shit, how do you run this? We'll run it over here. All right, so we're going to say get apps. So this is going to retrieve a list of apps. I think this is going to be all apps. Retrieves a list of all apps. Oh, no, there's a bug. Okay, all right, now I was right. Shit, let's undo all of this. There's a bug. Oh, it should be app IDs. I was right. Except this is wrong here. We're gonna import this instead. Oops. So this should take IDs like that. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one. There is a bug, so I suppose this is shit, more feedback that I get to write. All right, fine. It's what it is. What it is. Let me categorize this. So where should this live? That's not what I wanted to do. I'll move this to product feedback. This definitely should be in one signal for right now. For error messages, this is definitely product feedback. Okay. We're gonna say the node SDK doesn't match spec. apps on Node SDK doesn't match spec. Okay, so according to our spec for the get apps function, the function signature, there is a function that takes in app IDs, which are an array of strings, and that is supposed to return a promise of app, something like that, array, like that. Okay, so that is our function definition. However, what? Come on, don't do this to me now. However, the latest version of the SDK. This is, what version are we using? We're using one signal. Where is that at? Wait, I'm so confused. Am I not using one signal? Did I not install this? Okay. Are there two package JSONs? Oh, okay. What the hell? How come when I typed one signal? Oh, haha. Okay. Maybe if I had spelled it correctly. Maybe. All right, cool. So what version of this am I using? 2.0 beta. Okay. So 2.0 beta 1. Yeah. So this is going to be 2.0.0-beta 1. And you know, I hate these tools. Like it's not. There we are. Okay. The latest version of this, whatever, 2 has the function signature. Nothing really, technically. So this options, which is itself like some optional. It doesn't really matter what it is, it's wrong. That's the key. But options is configuration, okay. Which is configuration. Oops. Configuration optional. And that returns what's this supposed to return? A promise, yeah, a promise of app. Right, yeah, that's right. Promise of app array, like so. All right, so the docs is going to be here. Put that in there like so. And then I need to find the spec at some point. The spec is somewhere. I'm not gonna deal with that right now. But yeah, this is wrong. So let me do a little bit of a screenshot. Look at that. All right, so I think I'm gonna do a little bit of markup over here. So we're gonna make this a little bit bigger. Again, I really hate that it keeps removing my little pad thing. All right, argument of type string is not assignable. Yes. All right, cool. So that's wrong as fuck. We'll go ahead and click done, and I'm just gonna drop. Drop that in. All right, look at that. So we're done on that. So I now need to submit this as feedback to our engineering team. So let me do that right now. Ends inbox. So we are going to make this a shareable document. So much work for something so simple. I wish I could just use GitHub for this. When I worked at GitHub, we used GitHub for GitHub. So we just created an issue. My life would be so much simpler if I could just create an issue. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. And people are going to have to just deal with it. It's too much. It's too much effort doing things another way. Signal developers. So what I may do is transfer this this product feedback. So this is going to be, first we're going to export this as Markdown. And it's going to preview the thing, but I don't want that. So I'm actually going to delete, I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to re-add it. Like that. Okay, and what is this? Just gonna move this to the top. Get apps on Node.sk doesn't match spec. All right, so this should technically be get apps function. Get apps function on Node. Get apps function doesn't match. Doesn't match and spec. Okay, I think we're okay with here. All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do is do some label management. So we're just gonna come down. Let's just make this full screen. We're gonna edit all these labels. Deleting this, deleting that, this, that. It would be dope if I could delete all of these, but you know, that would make too much sense, you know. I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna have one for engineering. Whatever, I'm not gonna do any of that. We're just gonna keep it as is. So we're gonna take this and I'm gonna dump it in this little form here. In back before, let's go ahead and transfer this out. Where's my thing at? Here we are. So let's transfer this to another organization. So specify organization, select one of my organizations. Let's transfer this to one signal. Product feedback. I wonder if I could just, yeah, we'll just call it product feedback. So we're gonna do this right here. Type all of that. Is that what it wants? Okay, so it doesn't want that. Must type one. Okay. Oh, I'm dumb. I am dumb. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll use GitHub to do that. Let's do it. Use my phone. 86. Okay. All right. So I've transferred this over. So now I'm just going to do one signal like that, and go to product feedback. Private, just like I want, and let's make sure my issues are all here. Yep, we're good. And oh wow, okay. All right. Oh shit, I've asked for this several times. I need to be like an admin or a maintainer. Go ahead and ask. All right, cool. So for now, this is best I can do. So I've already requested access for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this link, the right one. And then I need to go back to my other Coda things. Let me go ahead and do that right now. I need to go to my Coda page and like update the URL to be the right one. So I think this one, nope. This one, nope. Feedback issue. All right, so yeah, so this is no longer gonna be that. It's gonna be something else. Okay. Oh my gosh, like editing is so, why do they make things so hard? I hate these tools. I really hate these tools. It'd be dope if like I could just do what I wanted, you know, like back in the day. One signal product feedback. All right, let's make sure that this works. Yeah, it does. Perfect. All right, and then we need to do the same thing here. Edit that. All right, cool. So we're all good. So steps to reproduce. I don't know, shit like call the get apps function with a list of IDs, app IDs. Additional info, nope, done. All right, so I'm also going to go ahead and create the thing here because, you know, that's what people have asked me to do. So I'll just do it, even though I think it's dumb. Just copy and pasta all of this. Do that. And then I'll just say, yo, rendered markdown is on GitHub. Rendered markdown is on GitHub. All right, let's make sure that that works. Yep, cool. So I'm actually going to link to Coda, you know, just to keep things consistent. Urgency, I'm going to say this is kind of high. How many users are known to anyone who uses Node? I don't know. Okay. 1. Highest known impacted customer support. I don't know. Okay, we're done with that. All right, so one thing that I am going to do maybe is move this to GitHub. Or do I already have it in GitHub? Maybe I already have this in GitHub. Yeah, I already have that. Perfect. Cool. So we're good. Oh wait, no, I don't. This was the basic auth stuff, so yeah. From here on out, I'm using. I don't like Coda. I'm using GitHub from here on out. This is. Oh, I'll use Coda. I'll put a link to GitHub. All right. You know, this Grammarly thing that's always in my way is super annoying. It's always covering up the word. All right, so Markdown into Coda. Since that's what I write. And linking to GitHub for folks who folks who care to see rendered Markdown. And I am going to do some label management. So this is technically a bug, but because I deleted oh shit, this is a bug in GitHub. So when you don't have any labels, you have to come into here to create a label. That's weird, but I can't create labels. So all right, so yeah, I'll deal with that another time. It's not that important for now. So I think I can move on. I think no, yeah, I can move on from here now. So a little bit of a tangent, but you know, I don't have access nils. Okay. Man, I don't even know how to spell privileges. How do you spell privileges? P-R-I-V-I, or is it L-E? Privileges. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with that. I don't care if it's misspelled. All right, cool. Yes, invite them to this. All right, cool. So, yeah, I'm blocked. I can't do this. Let's see if I can at least run the other things. So we'll say get app. Let's just let's see if I can at least run the other shit, even though the other thing is broken. Come on, I don't care. Just work. All right, cool. So it doesn't care that it's wrong, so we're good. So long as it's not going to break the build, so I can't do other shit, I'm good. So this is done. What is app? We'll just organize imports. All right. Right. All right. So next, what else do we have? Back to backend. All right. So we have get several apps. Can't do that. Update an app. Okay, I think I should be able to do that. Hopefully, we'll see. So that is this. So we're gonna say update app. Excuse me. All right, that's going to give me a new function to do some things. So we can close the rest of this. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of a break. I've done about an hour or so of work. Yeah, I'm taking a break. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I'm actually going to be bringing on my manager. We're about to do some pairing, I think. So give me a second. I got to turn on some things, get some stuff started. All the hoo-ha. Where's the thing at? Where's my interview? Okay, here we are. We're going to turn on interview mode and let's get one of these links. All right. So, I suppose I'm gonna have to edit a scene so that I can have, let's see, share app, share screen. All right, yeah, there we are. Cool. And I was using ping last time. I don't think I want to use ping this time. So we're gonna cancel.
Let's get beats, man.
All right, let me see. I gotta add a new thingamajig. Let's get you in. Oh, it's locked. No wonder. Okay. Let's unlock this scene. Delete that. All right, we're gonna add a new camera person, except it's not gonna be me. Let's make it Jordan.
No.
All right, got him in. All right, Jordan, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, it's me who can't hear. Okay,
it's you.
give me a
Okay.
moment. Give me
All
a
right.
moment.
Okay.
All right, say something.
Something.
I can hear you.
Stay gold.
All right, so man, all right, give me a second. I need to
right.
I need to tell some folks that I'm streaming to, so they can tell me if like the audio goes out, because I won't be able to tell. I can only hear you now.
Sounds good.
Oh, it works? Oh, perfect. All right, yeah, if you're gonna be here, please let me know if the audio goes out, because I only hear him and myself. I no longer hear the music. All right, cool. What's up, Jordan? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Taking it easy.
I'm all right. You know, just I decided to do something. I didn't have anything to do today, so I was just like, let me figure out something to do, and I ended up doing work. So,
Well, let's get to work though. Let's get some good work in.
Yeah. Well, I've submitted a few feedback requests or feedback, because yeah, I don't understand. Are you? Can you see my screen by any chance?
I cannot see your screen now.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna show it to me or if I gotta jump on the.
So I don't want you to go to the stream because you're gonna be laggy. I think the stream is like 10 seconds behind real time.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is potentially ruin the whole stream by starting up Zoom.
Okay.
And just join the Zoom. Make sure you mute Zoom, all that other kind of crap. And I'm going to share my screen that way. That's really the only reason I will use it. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll mute all the things. And all right, I'm gonna share it to you in our Slack.
All right. Slack.
All right, go ahead and share a screen, and then you'll be able to see my stuff in real time, hopefully. I think you should be able to join without me having to accept, so just let me know when you see things.
No, I'm in. I can see your screen now. Okay, this looks good.
All right, cool. All right, so then here's something that I just discovered. Let's see, get apps. Come on, don't do this to me now. Just leave me alone.
Is this the TypeScript SDK?
Yeah, the Node one.
Node.
Yeah.
The Node.
So you know how like it would make a lot of sense if I can give the IDs of the apps that I want to get, and that's in fact what our docs say. Well, we can't do that. It accepts an optional options configuration, which is just like what. And initially I was just like, oh, maybe that makes sense because maybe it's going to get all of the apps that's in my account. That was my thought, because we have the user auth key, so I was like, oh, maybe it's that. But then I went to our docs, and the docs are like, oh no, you give it a string array. Here it is. So I was just like, no, it definitely should be the other one. So it should be a string array. So yeah, I've already submitted that.
Oh, an array of strings. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, array of strings. So yeah, I kind of moved on from that, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's fun. And it turned into writing feedback. So I've done 2 or 3 so far.
Nice.
In any case, I guess what we should do is do some Android, or should we start with iPhone?
We should probably start with the iPhone. We can look at that. I don't know if you have anything on there, and then we got to replicate some stuff on there and kind of make it the same as the Android. So we'll have to pull up both, but maybe start with the iOS.
All right. What? Come on! Don't fail me now. Okay. Oh shit! Oh, all right. Something's going on. All right, just give me some time. My computer needs to sort itself out. All right, let's see. Open. Can you see how laggy my machine is?
It's a little laggy, man. That's because you got all the stuff on there at the same time.
Man, this is supposed to be 20 cores, M1 Max Ultra, light beam. It's supposed to do everything.
Zoom takes 8 of them right away. Actually, wait, are you on the? Do you have the corporate spyware on there? Endpoint management. So, okay,
no,
good.
no. This is my computer.
That eats half of my performance right away.
You're on an Intel machine, aren't you?
I think I am. Yeah, old Intel Silicon.
I mean, you would know. Is your house hot right now? I mean, that's how you know, right? If like your energy bill is stupidly high.
It's not that hot. That's our CPU info.
All right, so we're gonna connect to this via. We're gonna look at it on the simulator first. It's a little bit easier, because we don't really need to it works. Let's just trust me, it all works.
Yeah, it works.
So we'll look at it on the simulator, and you'll notice that it's stupidly simple, which is I think what we should do going forward. We should just have buttons and just do the thing.
I agree.
One day it'll load. Yeah, it's tight. It's just, man, it's doing the most. All 20 cores spiked up. What do you think of the Vision Pro?
Saying it's not revolutionary would be a mistake. It's definitely revolutionary. And it looks like mixed reality, augmented reality that is usable and actionable and adds value to people's life in a way that a VR headset alone can't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And HoloLens, Microsoft's thing, it's a little too gamery, and I think that Apple's thing's more mass market.
You think the HoloLens is gamery a little bit? I thought it was very enterprisey, like the opposite.
Fair point. Maybe it was more enterprisey than gamery, but it is. What's interesting about the Vision Pro is that it's a consumer solution. It's for everybody. I question that hypothesis that everybody wants it. Google Glass did that, but they botched it. And they were also too soon, but also they botched it. And it didn't pan out. And so maybe one of the lessons learned there is that there isn't a mass market for this, but I suspect that there is. A challenge with the existing Apple Vision is you can't walk around outside with it, but this is just V1. This is the iPod before the iPhone. It's kind of where I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Is it revolutionary? Yes, but it's not revolutionary enough, and that's coming. And I think it's going to take more than just innovation and a consumer adoption. It's going to take some killer apps, and it's going to take solving. I want to see how Apple solves the gorilla arm syndrome problem, because that's non-trivial.
What I can tell based off of like their little, their demo with the girl laying on the couch, it seemed like you could have your hands wherever. That's the impression that I got, is that it doesn't really matter where you put your hands, and that you don't have to necessarily do the grabbing and all that kind of stuff, because it has the eye tracking, which I think really that's the game changer, right? Where it's just like,
yes,
you can interact with the user interface without having to, do these weird ass hand gestures in the space.
But you still have to do some with your hands, right? I mean,
Yeah,
the video showed it was like eye tracking, but hands are involved. So I think that's what I'm saying. That is an attempt at tackling the gorilla arm syndrome problem, and I don't know how well it'll work, because I've never used it. I'm not saying I doubt it. I'm just saying I don't know. We gotta try it out.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think I disagree with it being about for consumers, and here's why.
Okay.
Apple gave it the Pro moniker, and I know Pro in Apple land that means consumer too. But right. I think the reason why they came out with a Pro first was they're signaling that it's likely not going to be for your general consumer. And I do want to make a distinction between a regular consumer of Apple products and like a more pro level consumer. Or maybe I should call them prosumer. How about that? Because Apple,
prosumer.
Like prosumer. I don't know. I'm all in. I was just like, I didn't even know I needed this until they showed it. Typical, Apple fanboy. I don't care. I like it. It's like M2.
Really a stuff guy.
You get M2 on your face. Just think about that.
Oof. I mean, that I get. The problem is I just haven't, looking at the demos, like make meetings, doing meetings to multiple screens and stuff. I don't know, man. To me, it's still an untested hypothesis. No one is doing this, really. And Apple's the one who can really bring it to mass. And you're right, it is pro. But, like, there already exists VR meeting stuff, and nobody wants it.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is it looks silly. I'm not saying that this doesn't look silly, but there's levels to it, right? Where, like, this is probably the first product where I'm like, you know what? It doesn't look all the way stupid. It looks like those snowboard goggles to me, where it's just like, yeah, I can kind of get behind it, but we'll see. I've already committed. I'm buying a couple of them.
It's V1. And you're right, it starts pro, but it has to, because the components are very expensive. But as they build more and more of them, that'll drive the components down. I don't think it'll ever be cheaper than a laptop. I hope it will be, but I don't think so.
I'm of the opinion that we may see laptops go away in not long, because Apple, they've already kind of. I mean, when you go to an Apple store, what do you see? iPhones,
iPhones and tablets. But the tablet with the like flimsy keyboard doesn't really cut it for pro use.
The flimsy.
I think there's a pro laptop story.
Okay, I see what you're saying. The connectivity is my only thing. That's what I need. So like, I can't use my iPad not because of the keyboard. It actually has a decent keyboard. It's got the same one as my MacBook Pro. The reason why I can't use it is there's one Thunderbolt port, and it's limited as fuck. You can't do anything. Yeah, it's not great. Anyways, yeah, we can go on some more tangents later, but I wanted to show you the thing. So we get the app. It just says one single iOS sample. Nice. Make sure you put Android sample in whatever framework we'll use. We'll just have that. You can log in, you can log out. I have a button explicitly to enable push and to disable push. The reason for that is, well, I think we should just have it. I know we can prompt for push permission using IM. That's what this is. But I think it's also useful to have this, because I think that the IAM will only display on the first session load. And then after that, you're kind of SOL. So that's part of the reason. This is like my escape hatch. However, once you enable push and disable it, if you try to enable push again, you're not going to get that prompt, that native prompt. But that's the system. That's iOS. We can't really change that. Outside of that, we have the presented in that message. This is just an easy way to do the thing, and watch it not work. Watch it not work. My gosh, it used to work. I swear it used to work. But this is supposed to pop up the hello, the thing that popped up when we started the app, or maybe it didn't pop up. I don't remember. And then we can start a live activity, which that should work. But watch it not work. It works. Okay, fine.
Oh, nice.
I'm surprised because typically when like one thing doesn't work, nothing works. But yeah, we can see that when I clicked on this present and that message, the thing pops up. It's just that, you know, I don't know.
Where'd it go? Oh, so it's hidden. Okay.
Yeah, so it's doing the thing. It's just, you know, sometimes it doesn't show up for whatever reason. And that's all you could do for now. One of the other things that I want to start adding is the outcomes and all that kind of stuff, but we need a little bit more setup before we can do that, like on the dashboard end. So I think this is enough because this is what most people have the most trouble with, right? Which is I need to get this notification extension done. I need to create a widget, and like, how do I actually bootstrap or initialize one signal and incorporate it into my app? I think I'm doing a decent job of doing that. We can look at the code. I think that's a little more important. There are no comments, but we can add comments.
Yeah. The other things besides outcomes that we could choose to add tags, add email and add SMS. But we could just maybe we just comment the add email, add SMS tag stuff in somewhere. You know what I mean? We just reference it as a comment because it's not an easy way to show that visually either. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's another thing. So with these sample apps, especially with the mobile ones, you can't just launch these and it works.
Right.
Like, you have to do things on the one signal side. So then it begs the question of, do we want to publish this so that someone could just download it and actually see it working? I don't see the value in that as much, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something we can do.
Well, I think there's a difference between, you know, you can run this thing, but it won't actually work without an app ID that's set up. And then, but the problem is, like, with outcomes, it's very business logic dependent. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to show you how to use outcomes without defining some outcomes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Tags, you could probably get away with adding user data. The same is true for add email and add SMS. But then you need a part in the code that says, okay, this is where a user is created, right? And now we're, you know, adding that, you're propagating that user creation to one signal. And there's not a clear way to do that. I mean, maybe you create a separate file, like a user class with just some annotations, but that to me adds complexity that reduces the usability of the code sample.
Right.
So I think comments is probably the best middle ground, to be honest. Saying, you know, here is a demo of the basic stuff. You should also include outcomes tags, add email, add SMS. But we have omitted them from the sample for simplicity or something, right?
Yeah, and I think that's where the demo app comes in. That's kind of what I was saying, where I think we should make a distinction. And like, let's say, for instance, for demo app purposes for this, where we have the login or whatever, I would likely integrate. I mean, we can integrate with Supabase or something like that for authentication. That way, we actually get back the ID from the database, and then we can then log in using that ID, and now we have the actual tie together, and we can actually start to do some more interesting things. But a little bit more effort, you know, there's a little bit more effort, and I think that would have to be like shipped to the App Store, because there's not really much value in just showing. I mean, sure, we can make the project available, but you're not going to be able to run it unless you're also willing to go
open source
and set up.
Is not enough, right? I think it has to be usable.
Yeah. Well, all right.
For sure.
All right, so we'll go through this, I suppose. So, code for this, we have a button. It's fairly. Oh, let me go back to here. Here's where we're doing our initialization, and we had to create a custom app delegate. That's something that I think we should call out. I don't know if we do. So in Swift UI, like, sure, there's Swift UI, but we need to be able to hook into things for our notification extension. So yeah, we have to create this custom app delegate, and this is where I'm initializing. Right now it's hard coded. I wanted to do this from an environment variable, but I got to figure that shit out for iOS. It's not just straightforward like I would expect. So eventually I will change this so that it's not this ID, but it'll actually be like just an environment variable, and then the instructions I can say just go update this environment variable, and it should just work hopefully. And then oh shit, okay, I see why I didn't do it. I forgot that I was testing something else to get the things to not show up. That's why we are not getting the in-app messages. I paused them.
Ooh, there you go.
Just rerun that. This is what happens when like I'm messing with the development version while also showing stuff. So let's see if it's going to show it this time. Oh, look at that. Woohoo, we did it. Okay, let's see. Present in-app message. Never mind, I lied. I don't know why it's not working. It worked before. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, all right, let's go back to this content view. Login button, very straightforward. It's literally just call the function. And I'm using this for a reason so that I can know it's me, but without having to create a database and do some stuff. So yeah. Next, we have log out. We don't really need to specify anything for log out. For the enable push, we're just going to our push subscription and calling opt-in. And to be honest, this is a much better user experience or developer experience than last time. Like, this is a lot simpler, I think. We got opt out, same deal. And then the push prompt, this is a little bit different. The trigger, I updated the trigger on the dashboard so that I can get this to trigger whenever I want it to. And that's when I learned that we can actually do that, because we don't do that on the OneSignal side on the dashboard. So once you prompt and the person dismisses it or whatever, you can't prompt again. That's yeah. Mm-hmm. So initially it threw me for a loop, because I was just like, wait, I'm explicitly calling it, but then I was like, okay, it doesn't work that way. Which is why I then added the enable push, was to do it that way. In any case, you can see that we have a trigger with a value. Yep. And then I have another one trigger with a value. And then the start activity, this is a function that I've defined, which is doing the live activity stuff. And then stop activity is just calling this OneSignal live activities with the exit of the activity ID. In fact, I don't like that. I'm going to change this right now. We'll just do that. There's no need for that to be in a function. And that's it. That's really it. It's very straightforward. Get back up.
Nice.
Put that to here. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, we can add comments if you think that's worth it. It was the only comment that I would add is maybe the app delegate thing, where it's just like, you need to create this.
Yeah, maybe add that. Maybe talk about tags, email, SMS, like data enrichment, but maybe skip that. I think we should definitely talk about the app delegate, because that's a meaningful technical thing. I'm looking at the Android code. I have basically the same stuff you have, except without the live activities, and I need to add login, log out, which is like a few line change. So this is, I think we're pretty close actually. I think I can just get a very quick and dirty PR Monday.
Okay, and I can do the not the live activity, the data tag stuff as well. But I may want to put that on another screen, and we also will need to come up with a way to explain to the person in the app, how do you check to make sure this is working?
Right.
It's not just, it's straightforward to us, but we're in the mix. I don't think it's straightforward to a random person who comes in and they see this data tag thing and you do something, and it's like, all right, well, what is that doing? So it'd be nice if we can either give them the direct link that they can go to where they can see it, or if we just have a link directly in the app and they can tap it and it takes them to the dashboard where they would have to log in, and hopefully our routing would then take them to the right place, hopefully. But nice. I'm also assuming that if someone's at least on iPhone, on iOS, they probably have a Mac, and if they copy anything from their iPhone, we could use universal clipboard, which is just a thing, and they can just paste it in their browser and it'll just work.
Nice.
All right, so let's take a look at the Android thing.
I'll see if that pulled up. I think it got merged into the main branch, by the way. We'd love to take a look.
Okay, I see what's happening. I'm in the wrong org. Is it one signal Android push sample?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We should rename this to just to get rid of push. Because the goal is to get rid of the channel or like the channel specific thing. So like we won't have one for IM or push or for email. It'll just be all one thing. And again, that's all just so that like it's becoming kind of hard to manage all of the different repos, especially when like we change our logo every so often.
No, it's not that often.
It's been twice so far. Cause I've had to do it twice.
Has it really been twice in the past?
Since I've been here.
Huh.
Well, there was something. We changed something. I remember we did. Maybe it wasn't the logo.
I think it was twice.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming that it could be more. And yeah. By the way, unrelated or somewhat related. Is there a reason why we can't put these repos in our one signal org and just make them public? Then like one signal developers could be like, I don't know, never mind. Yeah. Just,
it's not impossible to do that. The reason we went with it the way we did, I think, is so that security reasons basically. Set the expectation that one's public, one's private. Have different access controls for each one,
I see. Okay. Well, the only reason why I asked is because there have been some times when I will share a repo that's private because I'm still working on it, but then the person I share it with can't access it.
Right.
And then I don't think that I can just add them to the org because I think we have to pay for that, each person in the org. And it's like they shouldn't be in two orgs. Yeah, that's the only reason I was asking.
Yeah, I understand that complexity.
That's actually like earlier today when I was asking, can I become a maintainer in our one signal org? It's for that reason. It's because I'm putting feedback in an issue, and then I was just like, oh, people who aren't in our one signal developers org won't be able to see this. And in order to give the best chance of people being able to see it, I threw it in our one signal org, thinking that I'd be able to, mess with the settings of the repo that I created. And then it's like, nah, you can't do that. Which is interesting that the repo I created, I don't have any like privileges on.
Yeah. I am not the decision maker there, for better or for worse.
Well, all right. Well, let people know. So I think I shared a link to it. There are 3 issues in there so far. There are probably going to be more. And I'm still putting it in Coda because I know we're using Coda, but I'm now just doing raw Markdown because I can't deal with Coda's BS. I'm sure you understand. I can't do it.
Not a big fan myself. It's got some challenges.
Yeah, for the authoring. Anyway, let's go back to here and let me clone this. And actually, I'll let you rename it. I don't want to rename it. It may break it for you.
To rename what?
The repo.
I don't have any PRs pending, so feel free.
Yeah, but you still have it in your you still have it cloned, so if you were to pull or push whatever, that's going to break.
I don't think it's likely to occur. I can always create a note. There's no code here. If I need to blast away, I can. I'll just add a new remote. It'll be fine.
On signal Android sample. On signal SIGNAL. I think that's spelled correctly.
AL.
I'll also go ahead and turn off the things to just get it in compliance. So we don't need issues or projects. Yeah, I guess we'll keep issues just in case some people have issues. And then we want to turn off actions. All right, we're good. one other thing. We probably should turn off packages and releases. Android. One signal. Push notifications and in-app messages. What are some other things that we should like? Normally, I just put these four with the technology. Maybe Kotlin, if are using Kotlin, maybe.
Yeah, it's Kotlin based.
On Android, cool. So we have that website. I typically will what I've been doing is linking to the the SDK repo, and then from the SDK repo, hopefully they're linking to our docs for that particular technology, so like they can follow the chain that way. This right here will just be like a demo of integrating one signal into an Android application. Application, and this is going to be GitHub Android SDK. One signal Android SDK.
Yeah.
Let's confirm that that's actually right. Yep, cool, we're good. Perfect. So now this repo is like matching all the other ones.
Nice.
All right, so let me clone this. Wow, they got rid of the, oh, never mind. Okay, I was like, they got rid of the clone and desktop. I was about to be like, that's sad. All right, so this needs to go inside of one signal developers. Right.
What is that, Ranger? What is Ranger?
It is a file explorer. It's pretty dope because you can also see previews of things before you open it, and it's just really nice to use.
Oh, it's like Midnight Commander-esque. Not quite.
Think so. Yeah.
It's similar, but it's not as robust. UI looks cleaner, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, you can extend it. So I think there was something called Rifle. So Ranger with Rifle.
Okay.
I think Rifle like lets you do pattern matching in a directory, so like it's easier to find things. It's better than just like doing a CD and then doing ls to like see what's there. It's just like, just give me a tree and like, you know, give me all of the children so that I can easily see the structure of things.
I do a lot of tree grep. CD
Yeah,
LS.
so this is similar to that. So like I think you could do something like this and you can give it a pattern maybe. So maybe
that's nice.
And then and I think you give it like regular expression patterns too. So if you're used to grep, you just do Ranger or R. I have it bound to R, and then do backslash. You could type in whatever pattern you want. It'll do stuff. I like it. I've been using it for so long to where it's just like I don't even know how to use my computer without without stuff like this.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Let's go to the
Learned something new today. Ranger, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Oh, actually, here, there's something else that maybe you would be interested to know. If you go to my link tree and you go to my gear, I may split this out because it's kind of long now. But if you come here, you can go to the software that I'm using, and under development, you'll see the development tools. But under tools,
oh, you got
like
a
all
bunch
the
of
different tools.
recommendations there. Okay, cool. I'll check that out.
One day I'll
Link tree.
I'll become a real influencer and start doing work. All right.
I'm trying to find it. Where's your link tree? Oh, here we go. I found it on your Twitter.
Oh, okay, it's there too. Okay, I didn't even know it was on my Twitter. I just learned something. I didn't even know it was on my Twitter. That's interesting. All right. I stopped streaming to Twitter recently, so I don't keep up with it as much. I noticed that I would get absolutely no engagement on Twitter, like none. I would get views, but
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of looky loose.
Yeah, and I don't
That's
know if they were
okay.
actually viewing. Like, I'm not sure like how long they watched. Twitter doesn't give me any of that information. It's just like, oh yeah, like you got this many engagements. It's like, so people scrolled past it. Is that?
Yes, exactly. They show you impressions, which is just people scrolling past it.
Yeah, which
But
is like
that's
how
Twitter
you
for
source
you.
that. Oh yeah.
Twitter.
I thought Elon Musk would have, maybe did something better. Maybe I don't know. How do you open? Oh, this is an ID. Whatever the idea. So
The
then
IDA file, yeah.
yeah. Shit. How do you open this? I just do open.idea. Idea. Oh, of course not. Okay.
I'll find
That
it.
would make too much sense. I'll just open it up this way.
Just call it Android Studio. Yeah, I think the right way to call Android Studio from the command line is like /library /application /Android Studio /Mac OS /bin /app /
Oh, you have to like go to
You know what I
the
mean?
actual packet, or yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you got to find the package, and then in there, embedded in there, is the binary.
Interesting. I mean, technically, I could throw an alias, but I wish that they did something like Visual Studio Code, where it's just like, add this to my path for me.
Well, most people who pull, I mean, Xcode does that. I guess Android Studio doesn't, huh? The reality is most people who use Android Studio or Xcode for that matter on a Mac aren't using the command line at all.
Well, with Xcode, to open that, you just type open and you give it the file because it says a project file.
It's an XC project file, a
Yeah.
dedicated file. Android Studio doesn't treat its project directory as a dedicated file. You'd have to give it an extension to do that in Mac.
Yeah.
And Android Studio isn't Mac-minded the way Xcode is.
It's interesting because, yeah, I don't know, but I've opened it. It just means that I had to come out of my command line and then like go into some other thing. All right, so let's look at this project. What? Fuck. It's always something when I open this. Now it doesn't know where Android is.
There's always something with everything, man.
Oh gosh, I don't know where. Oh, okay. Locate Android.
It's just middleware. Interesting. I'm looking at some Python code at the moment. Different like API generated Python code. Okay. Package to. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. What I'm looking for. Do you ever like look for a package or a module or something, and then you go and you look at the GitHub repo and then you read the README and you're like, oh, these guys, they picked the right mixture of things and they've got the general technology choices right, but they clearly are describing it in a way that suggests that they don't really know what they're doing. Like again, I lose confidence from the README file, you know? Does that ever happen to you? Oh, I can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Are you getting that? Are you getting that it's just poorly written?
No, it's more like whoever did this either doesn't work in a professional setting, or if they do, like they are overly like this one thing is like you can use the specification if it's a different team, if it's the same team, if it's a totally different person. I'm like, that's the fact that that's in the README suggests to me that you don't understand what part of your project is unique and important. You know what I mean? And like the way you're describing it suggests you don't understand all the different ways this could be deployed.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, but I think that's because, like, with open source, it's like you're likely doing it in your own, and like you're not aware that not everybody A has the same system as you, but B just things are different. I understand that, but that takes.
But my worry is I'm gonna depend on this code from someone who has demonstrated they don't understand this type of use case that I'm going to use it for. You know what I mean? That tells me, oh, it's probably not going to work. I'm going to have some bugs here and there that I'm going to have to deal with. I'm going to have to dig into it, That's what I learned from that. And sometimes it's worth it to keep going. Sometimes I look for an alternative, and sometimes I say, screw it and write my own,
Isn't that open source in a nutshell, though?
Yes, it is. You're not wrong. You're 100% right.
Right. Yeah, that what you're saying is why I like to use my Mac. It's like I don't want to go all the way open source, because then you're just dealing with stupid shit all the time, and at a certain point, I don't know, you got to do it. I don't know, it's just too much effort. Send me the link that you're looking at.
I'll send you another time. The other thing, by the way, while I'm venting, I think ORMs. Ugh.
What have you been up to? You've been working with an ORM lately?
No, I'm just looking at ORM adjacent stuff, and it's like I can't find a simple, API server system that doesn't come attached with all this ORM garbage. And it's, I don't want to sound like an old man, but back in my day, we just made SQL statements in Postgres. Like, there are ways to do it in a safe way. The overhead of munging it into an object is rarely worth it. Actually, never, I'd say, but rarely.
I don't disagree with you. Although I will say I do partially disagree with you. And here's where: when you're just starting out on a project, before things are complicated, having a nice ORM is pretty decent. It's just after you get past a basic CRUD app, then it just falls apart.
Right. It's good training wheels, but the problem is they make it really hard to take them off.
Well, yeah, you also have to learn two technologies at that point. Not only do you have to learn the ORM, you're eventually still going to have to learn the underlying system and how is it creating that SQL so that you can fix it when it's doing the N+1 shit, where it's just, and then it becomes hard. Or if you're dealing with indexes and you're trying to get it to make use of that index, and because whoever the developer of that ORM is oh, they're opinionated, you shouldn't have to do that. Right. Now all of a sudden things are bad. I understand, and I've been burned with Prisma actually, and every new project I still use it, knowing that I'm gonna get burned.
See, why not just call MySQL or Postgres directly?
Well, it's because the schema file, that Prisma schema, it just makes it so much easier, because I don't have to I don't have to know what I'm doing up front. I can just prototype stuff out, and then get something basically kind of working, and then it's just all right, now I'm going to have to migrate from it. But some of the tooling that I get with Prisma, I don't want to go without. The schema file is kind of dope, real talk.
Yeah.
Writing SQL is fine and all, but my issue is that checking it in becomes an issue into a database. And when I say checking it, I mean the migrations and all that other kind of crap. That starts to become an issue when you change things, and you want to make sure that you're not screwing over previous releases of your database.
True.
Basically, there's no easy answer. I think it all sucks.
Maybe the right answer is go with an ORM until the performance becomes a problem, and then deal with it then. But then the problem is you've got objects everywhere. You've got this pattern where you're dependent on it. You're calling it in a very ORM-y way.
Get around that. It's more overhead, but the way I've done it in the past is I have no Prisma objects, but within, I call it like a data access layer or data access object typically.
Right.
I will then create a mapping to my own custom entities or domain objects, which have nothing like Prisma, like none of that stuff exists, but it's more work that you have to do.
So, okay, so that's what you're doing. You're creating a layer of intermediation between the ORM with your own model objects, basically.
Yes. Yeah. So that way, if I need to change anything, it's in that one location. And my app doesn't give a shit if I'm using Prisma or a database or whatever. But this has been lessons learned of doing tons of enterprise apps, because that's what you do when you're an enterprise consultant, is that you're going to have to deal with stuff. And the only constant that you know is change. So you design around it, but it also increases complexity. And, you know, all the things that you hear about, like dependency injection, all that shit, property injection, it's useful because you know that somewhere along the line, there's going to be some stakeholder who okayed something. And then 6 weeks later, oh, we need it to be completely different. Oh, we need to use this other technology.
Requirements change. That's just part of it.
Yes. Well, what you're describing is why I am no longer an engineer.
But I'm such a, my mind comes from a performance optimized place, and I need to get out of that mindset a little bit sometimes, I feel like. But I'm glad that I'm in that camp, and I have to remind myself, hey, quick and dirty is good, you know? Then I'm in the quick and dirty camp and can't figure out how to get past it, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I was in your camp, and then I was forced out of it when I
get forced out, for sure. I think big companies make you think that way because you're able to in ways that you're not going to be able to in a smaller company.
Yeah. Imagine my surprise when I learned that my users don't care if something is 2 milliseconds or 20 milliseconds or 200 milliseconds. They only care that they can do the thing. And it took me a good year to 18 months for it to really just click and just be like, okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be something that they can use.
They care about speed, but only past a point. And only
some of them care about speed. And I would say that that's a small minority of people who care about speed.
It's less about the people, it's more about what it is that they're trying to do, where they're connecting from, what their connectivity situation looks like, and what their alternatives are. You know what I mean? Like if you've got a service where I waiting a second for every page load isn't a big deal, but if you got a service where it's like I'm waiting 15 seconds, then it kind of gets annoying and I start looking for alternatives, right? But if instead of 1 second, it took half a second, I might be incentivized to do more stuff, you know what I mean? Which increases usage. So I think it does play a part, but it's definitely not as end all be all as I think some people push it to be. Particularly, I think this originates from Google, where Google was really all about speed, performance, page speed, etc. And I think those are good instincts, but cargo culting that idea without understanding the framework in which it was developed and the limitations of it is a mistake, as you say.
Yeah, that was my hypothesis actually when I was working on that other thing that I was working on when y'all reached out, was that like everyone, they look at Google and Microsoft and all these other companies, and I'm just like, well, you don't have users all over planet Earth who you have 50 users in this one location,
and they're all on desktop, so it doesn't even matter anyways. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. But I definitely understand. Like I think you need both, right? Like you need people who are like performance minded, but you also need people who are pragmatic. Yes. And I think that was the best thing that came out of being at GitHub for a while. It was just like I got out of the mindset of, it needs to be stupidly fast and all this other crap, and it's just like, okay. And even just like being receptive to changes. For instance, like because I came from consulting where it's like everything I know is going to change. It took a while to get beat out of that, where it's just like, you know what? Sometimes you just do the thing, and it doesn't need to be, X, Y, Z. You can always iterate to that point.
Yeah, that's the key insight. Is if it's perfect, it's too late. It needs to be quick and dirty out there, iterating fast. And if nothing's pushing you to iterate, then don't waste your time making it perfect.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, you'll never get it
takes a
perfect.
while
That's the problem. It's that like perfection doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Like
Because you're
at some point you
chasing
need
a
to
moving
launch.
target also.
Yes. Always. And it's like even when it's perfect, you're gonna use it. And that's the thing is like once you use the thing that you built, you're gonna start to you're going to see things that you're like, oh, this could be this or this could be that. And I guess I mean I'm gonna sound old. I guess now it's like I've been burned enough to where I just know that that's gonna happen. So I'm very skeptical to put in too much effort into something up front. I'd rather like do the minimal effort, start using it, and then like based off of my usage, okay, it'll be nice if we can do this, and then go and do it versus everything up front. But again, I think that's somewhere it's just like I don't know if it can be taught. I think it's somewhere you just have to experience it. Because we'll say these words, people will be hearing us say, oh yeah, you should do this or that, but until they actually deal with the pain, it's just a bunch of words to them. Like, oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, okay, we'll see.
Right. Right. That's right. Some mistakes got to be made in person, real time, yourself, Sometimes you can learn from other people's mistakes. Sometimes you got to make them yourself.
Well, learning from others' mistake is wisdom. But
It's cheaper.
it's hard
Way
to come
cheaper.
by. Well, is it cheaper?
Learning from other people's mistakes? Yeah. Often.
I don't disagree. But I guess what I'm thinking is that like people don't see it that way. Some people are like, oh, I have to do it myself. At least maybe the people I've come across where it's just like, I may tell them something. It's like, yeah, but I want to see for myself. It's like, okay, all right.
That's interesting. Most of the time I come across people who say, well, I do come across people who say, you might be right, but I'm going to try anyways.
That's basically that,
say,
yeah.
Right. Most of the people either say, you're right, and then don't do anything, Like they don't even admit to themselves. Like they think, oh, he's right, and I'll think that way, but then they don't. They still make the mistake anyway. Or they say, screw you, you're wrong. And I'm gonna prove you wrong, Which I've seen too. And I tell them, hey, look, maybe I'm wrong. Let's find out. And
I'm in the
sometimes I
same
am
boat,
wrong.
except I don't say let's. I'm just like, yeah, like let me know if like yeah, you let me know. I don't need to be there with you to figure that out. But like, let me know.
Well, it depends on who I'm saying it to and what about and what a relationship is.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm thinking of like random internet strangers right now.
Now, random internet strangers, you're on your own. I don't even talk to them.
Oh man, we might have some random internet strangers pop in.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. Look, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm mistaken. Sometimes I got an opinion and someone says, actually, that might not apply in my case. And we have a dialogue and I learned something, I'm not perfect. Like what about this README where it's like people talking about 5 different ways this program could be used, but they're not thinking about the way I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? Well, maybe they got to learn. Maybe I just got to tell them they haven't been exposed to it.
Well, I think that's the beauty of open source is that you can always submit a PR.
PR is welcome. It's true. That is the beauty.
That's the beauty of it to me. It's like I don't expect someone to get everything right, but hopefully, if there are people using it who care about it enough, they'll come back and like make it better. And I mean, we had some of that at GitHub on desktop. For instance, proxy support. Turns out, some companies, like enterprise companies, everything's behind the proxy. And at GitHub, that wasn't the case when we were doing things. And it's like, yeah, we maybe should think about that. Fortunately, we had users who cared about it so much. They're like, here's a PR.
Yeah.
So we can get proxies.
That's pretty cool, man.
So like, it puts certain things on our radar, or at least on my radar, that I was just like, oh yeah, I guess we didn't think about that.
Dude, look at that. Chat GPT just knows where the SDKs are.
That's bullshit. It doesn't, because I went to that directory and it's definitely not here.
So they just that's my bro.
Well, it may not be his fault. It could be like maybe I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All right, how do I install this? Wait, sync Android SDKs and Android.
Don't bother. I'll just submit a patch, man.
Well, it's
you go.
I still need to get this to work
settings.
on my machine. Like I still need to be able to get Android.
Go to File. I think it's under File, and then pull up the Preferences menu. Settings.
Preferences.
Okay, there we go. And then under where the fuck is this the case? Plugins? No. Still in the search bar. Search for SDK. Yeah. Android SDK. System settings. Okay, there we go.
I swear to you, I had an Android SDK. Like I haven't.
You might, but it looks like the directory's off. You gotta assign a directory.
Okay.
You gotta tell it where to put it. There it is.
Of course, okay. Sure. So at some point, it must have deleted it. It must have deleted it because it was there.
No, I think the SDK is there. I don't think it's installing the SDK. I think it's already there. I think it just didn't. It lost its connection to the directory.
All right. Wait a minute. So I'm in library. My user. Let's see.
Yeah, go.
Oh.
No, you're in slash library. You gotta be in slash user.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was already in my home directory, and maybe I wasn't.
That's what ChatGPT told you, man.
All right. I forgive ChatGPT.
You should forget. We were quick to judge you, my friend.
It does know things. Okay. So then, Android 34 is the newest one, I suppose. And 33. Oh wait, no, that's 13. Or no, that's 33.
It's SDK 33, which is product number 13.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do two of them. We'll apply.
I worked on Lollipop, Marshmallow, and Nougat. And then I left Google.
I think Nougat may have been the one that had just came out when I went back to Android for like a year. Cause like before like I was just all in on Apple. I used to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So like, you know, back in the day when you had the 2-year phone contracts. Right. So every 2 years I'd be like, I'm going back to iPhone, I'm going back to Android. I started on Android, just FYI. And
they were changing so rapidly back then.
Yeah, and honestly, I used to like it. That was back when I liked change. Back when I was a young person. And then as I became older, I was like, you know what? I don't want things to change. I'm actually okay with my iPhone looking the same every fucking year. I'm okay with that because it means that I don't have to relearn stuff. And that was my main issue, is that every time there was a new version, it's like, oh, I had to relearn everything. And after a while,
nothing, for no reason.
Yeah, just for
some of it's just moving shit around. There's not good change. It's just change.
Yes, and honestly, that's what's happening with Apple right now with this newest Ventura, whatever OS, where it's just like, oh yeah, let's just change a bunch of shit. Just so we can say we changed something. It's just like,
I feel like Windows is doing that.
I haven't used Windows in a long time, but isn't it still Windows 10? Is it? Are they still making changes?
Windows 11 now.
Oh, what do they do?
They're just really pushing services, like the start bar has basically become Windows.com. You know what I mean, or whatever, Live.com.
Oh, so it's like, it's instead of it being just your computer, it's trying to force you to, like, I guess internet stuff.
Yeah, they're putting like the news in there, and they've got like your Outlook email is more tightly integrated. So they're pushing their digital services deeper into the operating system. The other thing is they just do they actually had a couple big things like the Windows subsystem for Android. They added some security stuff, but then they made a bunch of changes to the UI, which is like, they're not. It's like moving. I don't want to say like moving ships around the moving moving chairs around the Titanic. You know what I mean? You're not. Except it's not a sinking ship. They're just moving chairs around. They didn't add anything. Like they changed the way the start menu looks, and they put the taskbar in the center instead of on the left. You know what I mean? Like it's not adding value. They're just kind of, it's a bit like changing your logo twice in 3 years.
Got it.
Right? I mean, there's not value being added with what they're doing. There's not learning occurring in terms of like, oh, they're not experimenting with new ways. Like, why move it from the left to the center?
I can give you an answer that you won't like, but it's the truth. People want change.
That is the truth.
Like there are people who are just like, oh, I just want to redesign. It's like, for what?
Nope,
what are you looking to get? I just want it to look different. It's okay.
They want it to be different. It is both the both the producing side, which that's true, like the designers want to change stuff, and the consumer side is true. The people want to see slightly different designs all the time. I learned this most deeply when I was in the restaurant business, because they say you have to renovate your restaurant's design every 7 years. Even if you keep a lot of the same motifs and stuff, even if if you replace all the chairs with like the exact same chairs every 7 years, you don't change any design, people say it looks old.
That's the thing. I hear a lot of that these days, and mostly
stale.
from younger folks. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old man now. I'm just like, what's wrong with something that works? Like why does it need to change if it's working? Like, why do you want it to change?
It shouldn't. I mean, part of it is because that definitely wasn't true 50 years ago. But it became true, maybe 50 years of a stretch, to say 70 years ago, 100 years ago. It became true because everything else was changing all the time. And so it was like anything that was standing still felt like it was not moving at all. You know what I mean? Like it felt old.
I get it. But like then you get into situations like, let's say for instance my blender. I have a Vitamix blender.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to buy a new one, not recently, but a few years ago. And the new one has like Bluetooth and all of these other crap. Like, is there app? It's just like,
bro, why?
Like, there was nothing wrong with the blend. It's just like, all you need to do is turn on.
Am I gonna blend while at the office? Like, oh, I gotta remotely connect to my blender.
Well, no, they have recipes now.
Like chicken puree.
They have recipes now. They're like, oh, you can do this recipe. It's just like, okay, well.
Who's doing that? I do the recipe. I look
at
the book. I chop the food up. I throw it in the blender. I click the button. You know.
That's what I'm getting at. It's just like, why did that need to change? It's like all you need is a switch, a dial, and maybe the toggle thing. Like, do we really need like these push buttons or this thing where it senses which cup you put on, and like if you don't use a specific cup, then it won't turn the blender on? That's the thing that pisses me off. There's like, if the little sensor in the cup isn't on in just the right way, it won't work.
Well, at least it's not DRM'd. I mean, it is, but
it could be. How would we know?
Yeah, it is. The reality is they do stuff like that often because some jerk will buy it. Someone wants they'll buy the top of the line one with extra bells and whistles. They don't care. It's literally bells and whistles, dude. Literally bells and whistles. They don't care. I mean, Bluetooth on the blender, that's a bell. That's a whistle, you know? Streamers, tassels on the back of my bikey bike. You're on mute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you anymore. Got the AB issues.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. It happens every time I get system audio noise, or if I start the Android. So I can't start the Android emulator, or else all of it, like, for some reason, it does something to my audio and it reroutes it and it makes it sound like it's going over a radio. Like it sounds like a radio.
Tinny, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. And that's honestly part of the reason why it's like I'm slow to do Android stuff, is because it screws up my system.
It's the way the emulator works, I guess.
Interesting.
Bells and whistles, though. What were you gonna say?
I don't even know. Maybe, I don't know. People like bells, maybe. I don't know.
People with money want the top of the line stuff, and the people who make stuff want the money. So they'll put stuff at the top, and they got to come up with crazier and crazier stuff.
See, all right, so you're right, but
like
as
the best jacuzzi to buy is the middle one, not the top one, not the bottom one, the middle one.
I agree with you. Although I will add this, as someone who does typically buy the top of the line shit, I tend to not want the things that are on it. Like, for instance, like let's say if I wanted to get a Tesla, not a Tesla, what do you call it? Yeah, let's say I wanted to get a Tesla Model S. The only reason why I didn't get a Tesla Model S is because I don't want that dumbass yoke. I just don't want that. I don't want to not have a what do you call it, like a gear shift lever. I don't want to touch my screen. But it's just like,
that screen's stupid.
Well, it literally forced me into buying a Model Y. So they lost money because they decided that they want to do some stupid foolery. And it's just like, who asked for that? Who was like, hey, you know what? It's too much effort to flip this little switch to put it into drive. Like, who said that?
Innovation. And they feel like they have to innovate, so they got to tweak stuff. I feel like to me the biggest mistake is the touchscreen in the car.
It is a mistake. It's like I can't do anything without interacting with that touchscreen, and like all of the touch targets are stupidly tiny. So when I'm driving, if I want to do anything, like I don't know, change the air conditioner because it's hot as fucking Texas, I had to like try to find in some menu to go and do something. It's just like, what was wrong with a dial like that? I could just quickly do this without looking. Whereas now it's putting my life in danger because some idiot decided that, oh, it's cool if you do this in the touchscreen. It's just like, it's also retarded. It's also dumb. I can't say it. It's also dumb.
Yeah. It's that touchscreen cars shouldn't be legal in my opinion, and it wasn't at first. Remember that?
Yeah, you couldn't use your phone in a car, and it's just like now your whole car is a phone.
Use the phone. That's not better. It's worse. Dude, when those touchscreen Now devices first came out, they had a big thing that said the driver is not allowed to use this while the car is in motion. Remember that? You had to like click a thing. I agree.
Yes, that's no longer a thing, right? Like you could just use your phone now, right?
That's what it's like. That's become. It shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be that way. But instead of fixing it, we normalized it. It's like it's
that's
like
what people
wanted.
They wanted cool things. That's it. Like people are just like, oh, I want it to be cool. It's new.
No. People want to be able to text and drive. People want to drink and drive. People want the touchscreen and drive. They don't care. They're willing to accept the risk that someone else might get hurt. Selfishness.
Do you think they don't care? Like,
I think that they think the risk is lower than it actually is because, well, only stupid people crash when they drink and drive, but I'm not stupid. Only idiots text when they're, only an idiot is going to be, I only text when I can get away with it. But everyone thinks that. It's like everyone thinks they're an above average driver.
Well, I happen to know for a fact that I am an above average driver.
I'm sure that you are.
Not just me. But I also have a SEA license to back that up.
I'm a mediocre driver.
Well, mediocre is average. Like that's just average.
That's right. It is average.
Have you been in a bunch of accidents?
Never of my own cause.
Then maybe you're above average because
maybe I am actually. Now that I think about that.
Yeah.
But only slightly.
I had 2 accidents. One, this was in 2007. I had a green light going and like turning onto the street to go to my house,
right.
And a teacher ran her light. The reason why is that she was reading a paper map.
Dude, what?
Yeah. There were witnesses, so like but it totaled my car, and I got to go to school and not have a car, so I had to rely on my hall mates. I went to a school with mostly like I learned that people had money. And that's why I learned I was poor. This was like they're like, oh, you could take my car. I was like, oh, okay.
You got cars?
Yeah. So like I actually one of the girls, she gave me the keys to her car. And she's like, yeah, you can like I have 2 keys. Like whenever you want to go, whatever, just like you can go.
This was in what school was this?
Trinity University.
What level? Oh, university.
Yeah. It's technically not a university in the classic sense of the word. We don't have different schools. It's more I would call it a college more than anything.
But it's post-secondary. It's after high school.
Yeah. But like this is where it's like I saw a car, so I was just like, wait, like you have an Aston Martin? Like people with Porsche 911s, and I'm like, you're freaking 18.
Their parents are buying them that too, which is crazy.
Well, I know that. Like one of them. Well, I actually met her. The girl who gave me the keys. Her dad was the CEO of TI Texas Instruments. They flew in on a helicopter, bro. Like for all the parents, I'm like, oh my gosh, like where am I? And yeah, it was at that point where I was like, I need to do more. I need to do something because I need a helicopter. I need an airplane.
All I'm thinking about it, you say that in my mind, I'm like, nobody needs a helicopter. That person should not exist. Something's broken with this country.
I need it now. I'm just like, man, I saw someone with it. I'm like, how come I don't have a helicopter? And it's just like, if this person can have one, I need one. Not necessarily that I want it. It's just like, how can someone have something and I can't? It was more of that. But you're right. No one technically needs a helicopter, but if you have one, It's nice. You can easily fly from Houston to San Antonio in 90 minutes. I mean, there's that, you know. Whereas if you wanted to make that drive, that's 3.5 hours, assuming there's some traffic.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you had a helicopter, you know you would drive it. You know you would fly the helicopter.
But but I would rather live in a place where we can all take the train than live in a place where most people gotta wait in traffic and I gotta take a helicopter.
I agree with that. Although
But
New
that's
York
not
is a place.
America.
New York has a train, but people aren't going to take that train.
Well, that situation is very nuanced and complicated. But you're right. You're right. I agree. You know, in London, billionaires take the subway.
It's the same in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, I would take it if it were nice and it was available and easy and on time. Like, that's the other one, like on time.
Wow. We don't do that in America. We don't do any of that. Nice, easy, on time, affordable. Nah.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, we do. Some things are on time. Affordable, no. I was looking to go to Mount Rushmore in like a couple weeks. I've decided to not go. $1,100 for a round trip flight to South Dakota.
What? For what?
I don't know. This is what the flight cost on United.
Why is it South Dakota?
Isn't that where Mount Rushmore is? In like near
From
Sioux Falls?
where?
Houston,
Why does it cost that much to go?
From here.
Why does it cost that much to go from Houston to South Dakota? You could
Oh.
go to like Korea.
I can go to Bogota. So I may go to Colombia because I can get to Colombia for $840.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, if I'm gonna pay, above $500, why would I fly anywhere in this country?
Right.
It's
Right.
like,
Get me out.
to go and stay in a
me go
hotel
to
that's
Costa
200,
Rica.
an inn to go stay in an inn for $300 a night, like, nah.
So what? So that I can drive down some interstate to eat hamburgers at the drive-thru and look at Mount Rushmore?
Well, I do want to see Mount Rushmore. It is on my list of things.
I want to
do
see it too.
I want to see that.
But I mean, let's be clear. South Dakota is not exactly.
Well, that was my thinking, but like I know people from that place, so I can't talk down on it. It's just that I'm not going to pay that amount of money.
I'm not going to talk down on it. I mean, St. Louis is also milk toast. I'm not going to say like something special about South Dakota. Most of that place, there's nothing.
The difference
special
is you can get to
about
St.
most of
Louis for like $300 round trip. That's the difference.
it. Right. That's why I'm so surprised that South Dakota is so expensive. It's unreal.
You could have just spent the time, maybe
Might have
the
been
time, maybe. But I'm just like, you know what? I guess I won't go. So I may go to Colombia now. I'm just like, I can go there. Hotels are cheaper. I'm sure the food is better. I'm sure the scenery is much better. Like, sure, there's Mount Rushmore, but like, come on now. Like, Colombia has dope stuff too. I can also go to the Caribbean coast, up in there.
Yeah, the Carib. I love the Carib, man,
Yeah.
in general. It's good spots. Anyways, I got to head out, man. It's
All
good.
right.
Good chatting with you.
Yeah. So you're good with the sample then, right? We're good?
I think we're good on the iOS. We just got to replicate some of that stuff on Android. Feel free to take a stab at some of it if you want now. Just basically update the README and add a couple of things. Log in, log out mostly, I think. And
All right,
it's
that
small.
works.
I can do it Monday if not.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna take a little break and we'll see. But yeah, I'll see you in July, in a couple, 3-4 weeks. However,
Wait, are you heading out? Are you working
today or when?
this week? Monday? This Monday? Are you working? This
Yeah. It's not a hot, like, yeah, we're supposed
No,
to.
I'll
work,
be
right?
there. I'll be there this week. I'll see. Oh no, I'm gonna see you in person in July. Is what you're saying? Yes. Yeah, I'll see you in person in July. I'll see you online.
Yeah. I'll be around. All right, man. Have a good rest of the day.
Peace.
All right. Let's go back to. All right, give me a second, y'all. I gotta go back to my stream audio. All right, so hopefully, yeah, I can hear myself now. Let's get audio back up. All right, so put that back up, and let me go back to my regular screen share. Cool. We'll turn off interview mode. All right, yeah. So those of you who are coming back or who are joining, just did a quick little thing with my manager to do a quick review. Unfortunately, we can't show Android on my computer and run the stream at the same time because audio issues. So that's kind of what I was talking about when I was ranting about this. But I may update the README a little bit to match the format that it's supposed to be. Yeah. So yeah, I may update this so that it matches our format for our READMEs, and I also may add some additional functionalities so that it aligns more closely with iOS. I think he said that he's already added login and log out activity. Some of the other things that we are going to want to add is data tags, and data tags are just a way for you to add like custom data to your user record, so you can create segmentation, all that kind of stuff. Just for FYI, I happen to work for a company called OneSignal. I'm a developer advocate there, and we do marketing tech, right? So marketers tend to want to send engagement messages to people who fit a certain profile or whatever, or people who have accomplished certain things or met certain milestones. Let's just call that all who have been segmented into a segment. We want to be able to send messages to a segment instead of directly to a user, that kind of thing. So data tags are a way for us to segment our users. And what I mean by that is that it gives us a key by which we can segment. Now, because a lot of our software is meant to be ran on a mobile device, and integrated within your app, creating your segment, or not creating your segment, adding tags to your user is like the primary way that you I guess that you can categorize the user. So an example of a segment or a data tag could be this person's bought 10 items, something like that. Or maybe it could be their lifetime value, their LTV. Or maybe it can be I don't know, like they've used the app twice, something like that. It could be anything, right? It's up to the marketer. And actually, let me do a little bit. Let me show some of that. Before I show that, let me quit Zoom, because that's also causing some issues. So we'll quit Zoom. What else do I need to quit? All right. Also, I think I said thanks, Jimmy, but thank you again for confirming that audio was working. All right, let's where are we at? From the OneSignal. Yep, here we are. So I'm gonna go to one of these fake apps. They're all fake apps, but here, really fake app. We'll come into audience, and you'll see here we have segments, right? So at the moment we have a segment called subscribed users. So if we wanted to send a message to people who are subscribed to push notifications, that's how we would do it. Or there's something called an inactive user. You can see here that here's the definition. It's based on the last session is greater than a certain amount, and the time unit is hours. Of course, we can add filters, and we can also add an or filter. So let's do an add filter. And these are all the different types of filters that we can add. So we have a first session, and then we can say less than or greater than. So a time component. Let's remove that. Remove that. Okay. Next, we can do session count. So this is like, all right, this person has opened the app 2 times. So we can do this. And we also have is greater than, less than, and just give a count. Close that out. Hopefully you get the point, right? Like do it off of country. You can do it off of purchase items, what version of the app that they're using. So let's say, for instance, you want to send a message to all of your users who are still using version 2.0 of your app, and you are currently on version 4, right? So you can send a message to only the people who are using a specific version of your app to say, hey, you should maybe upgrade, right? And that could be either in a message or a push notification or an email or a text message, right? So like you could use any of our messaging channels and all that kind of thing. For what it's worth, not for what it's worth, if any of you want to learn more about this type of stuff, I'm happy to go through that. Yo, what's up, Factory? How you doing? Are you still in, wait, Factory, you're in Dubai, right? Or in Middle East, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're the one in the Middle East, right? Dubai. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's segments, and there's let me close out of that. you can see here I have a few active segments. I have subscribed users as well as engaged users. You can name these segments whatever you like. So for this, the definition of an engaged user is someone whose last session was less than a week ago, and they have interacted, or they've opened your app at least 4 times. But of course, you can define this for whatever you want, right? So this is just a custom segment. We have some paused ones and then users. There's only a couple. These are all technically the same user, but like, let's pretend that you have 1 million, 10 million users here. Well, you probably don't want to send messages. No. All right, my bad. I'm over here having side conversations. What was I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh yeah. Imagine you have 10 million users, right? Chances are you do not want to send all 10 million of your users a message or engage with them all at the same time, especially if you're doing anything that's personalized, right? So this enables you to kind of like think about your users not as just 10 million individual people. Not to dehumanize you, but like you can instead think of them as like groups of people, right? So let's say, for instance, the world, we have about 9 billion people on Earth. Well, maybe we want to segment people by country. So maybe I want to send a message in Dubai. And maybe if I'm doing that, maybe that message should be in Arabic, right? Probably don't want to send an Arabic message to someone in Provo, Utah. Just guessing, right? Anyway, so that's the whole segments thing. There's also, we got this thing called journeys, and in fact, I may start doing more of just showing off our actual product, because a lot of what I've been doing is just coding shit, which is, you miss out on a bunch of context. I think. Go ahead and close Android Studio, and where am I at? So we're gonna close some things that I no longer need because it's gonna confuse me. Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna publish this right now because I want to be able to work on this if I'm not at home. I have another computer, so in order to do that, let me. Wait, I forgot. Wait, this picture, I forgot about this. I think this is when I was doing some random stuff outside. I don't know where I took this at, but interesting. All right, I think I don't need this open. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. What else do I want to close? All right, we're gonna close iOS simulator. I'm not doing the iOS stuff right now. I may come back a little bit later and do iOS after my break, because I am gonna take a break soon. It's either gonna be a break or I'm gonna leave. I've been on for 3 hours, so we'll see. And I've gotten 2 messages in 3 hours, so it's like it's not a strong incentive for me to be here. to get rid of. Oh, so I'm gonna share this. So this came from someone in another Slack channel that I'm in. Let's make it framework wars. Okay. Yeah, so this role-based roadmap. So actually, you know what? Maybe, is there one for developer relations? No, there's not. Can I add to this myself? Oh, it's GitHub. Okay, so then we can, yeah, maybe I can add one of these for developer relations. So this is basically like a roadmap of all the things that maybe you want to learn. So here's a good one. How does the internet work? Let's just jump right in, right? How does the internet work? How about, I'm curious, so for those of you who are watching, right, like, I'm not going to get into all the details about all the experience that I have and like all the things that I know, but would there be any interest for me to go through these things and kind of like talk through it, introduce, core technologies in the area, maybe talk about it from a problem solution perspective, right? So like I can tell you what HTTP is, take it to the spec. I wonder if this is taking you to the spec. Let's see. No, it's not. Okay, it's just taking me to here. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is a little bit different because I'm more of a go to the spec kind of person, but this is good too. Yeah, so like, I'm curious. Should I do this? Should I like just go through this roadmap thing and just go through stuff? No, what? Never mind. I'm not asking. I'm gonna do what I want. So I rescind my question. I'm gonna do what I want. Maybe I'm gonna do some of this prompt engineering stuff that I already do. This is not new to me. Basic LLM context. Let's see if there's anything that's new to me here. Nope, nothing. Okay, yes, I know what these are. Okay, sure. Okay, there's nothing new for me to learn there. All right. Types of LLMs. Maybe this is something that I won't know. Base LLM, instruct. Nope, nothing new. All right, anyways, yeah, so I may start taking my cues from this. I'm not going to take another break. I don't think that anybody's going to come in the next hour or so. So if you've been watching, thank you, I suppose. Yeah, follow me on Twitch if this is at all interesting. I would prefer if you subscribe to me on YouTube and like it, at least give a thumbs up if any of this was valuable, if you learned anything. For instance, I know for a fact that whoever's watching right now, you had no idea that you could copy to your clipboard by doing something like this. So let's just say I'm gonna just echo some random stuff. So I'm gonna say what the F, and I'm gonna echo that, and I'm going to then pipe that to PB copy. I know for a fact you didn't know that you can do this. Here, let me just paste that right there. You didn't know you could do that. You didn't know that. So you just learned something today. Please go like and subscribe because I've taught you something. That's value, right? Let me make it not go one way. Like make it go two ways. Give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that other kind of stuff. In any case, I'm gonna head out for the day. I'm not gonna come back. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Peace.